Now that we've seen how to customize the control panel, let's take a look at our keyboard shortcuts. Many of us who use InDesign or other applications are familiar with many of the keyboard shortcuts that we use to do things quicker. For instance, print might be Control-P on a Windows computer or Command-P on a Macintosh. It turns out that with InDesign, every one of those keyboard shortcuts is up for grabs. Under Edit, go down to the bottom of the list and you'll see Keyboard Shortcuts. Choose it to see this dialog. Those of us who are more familiar with other applications often find it frustrating when learning a new one. It turns out that InDesign has a number of built-in keyboard shortcut sets that make it easy for people to migrate from, say, PageMaker or QuarkXPress to InDesign. To turn on those sets, click on the menu under Set, and then choose either PageMaker or QuarkXPress. If we select PageMaker, then InDesign will now behave the way that PageMaker 7 did. If you choose Shortcuts for QuarkXPress, then InDesign shortcuts will switch to behave more like the way that they did in QuarkXPress to make it easy for you to migrate. For instance, a common activity in both QuarkXPress and InDesign is placing a picture. In QuarkXPress, you use the getPicture command, but in InDesign, it's called place. To use getPicture, we used Command-E on a Macintosh or Control-E on a Windows computer. InDesign uses Command-D on a Macintosh or Control-D on a Windows computer to place pictures. Now that we've switched to Shortcuts for QuarkXPress, let's look under the File menu and see how we get pictures. Select OK, and then under the File menu, you can see Place is now Command-E rather than Command-D. Let's go back and see how we can assign our own keyboard shortcuts to actions inside of InDesign. Under Edit, we'll go back to Keyboard Shortcuts, and let's choose the default set again. So under Set, switch up to Defaults. Now I'd like to change a keyboard shortcut for myself. Click under Product area, and you can see the various menus that we can customize. You'll notice that there are customizations that appear not only in the regular menus at the top of the screen, but also in some of the other areas where there may be menus. For instance, panel menus can be customized. In addition, the view and navigation windows as well as the tools can be customized. Let's take a look at the File menu and see if we can change that Place command to Command-E. Select File menu. If we scroll down, you'll see Place. You'll notice it says Command-D. Now we can select a new shortcut simply by clicking down in the new shortcut area and typing Command-E. On a Windows computer, try Control-E. You'll notice you get a warning. Underneath it says currently assigned to and then export. If I click Assign, then Command-E will be disconnected from export and will be connected instead to Place. Click Assign. The default set can't be modified, and so we have to create a new set based on the default set, but with the change that we've just made. Click Yes to continue. Let's call it Total Training. And then click OK. Now you see that Place actually responds to two keyboard shortcuts. It responds to Command-D or Control-D on a Windows computer, and Command-E and Control-E. If I'd like to remove Command-D, I can select Command-D and then click Remove. Now that we've made that change, let's save the set. If we click OK, then now this change to the File menu will be committed. If I go to the File menu now, I can see that Place has Command-E assigned to it and that Export has no keyboard shortcut assigned to it. Let's return to the default keyboard shortcuts. Edit, Keyboard Shortcuts, and pick the default set. And then OK. We can also customize the menus as well as the keyboard shortcuts. Select Edit and go down to Menus. Menu customization allows us to do several things. First of all, it allows us to show which menus appear. Secondly, it allows us to change their color. If I'd like to highlight a particular menu that I return to frequently, I may want to change its color. For instance, the Place command I use a lot, and so I'd like to see it better on the File menu. If I open the File menu, I can select the Place command, go over to Color, click on None, and then pull down, say, to Red. The The Place command will now appear in red on the File menu. There are several items that appear that are related to InCopy, and I'm not going to use InCopy at the moment. I'd like to shut off Check In and User. Click OK to commit the change. If we look under the File menu now, you'll see that Place is in red and that Check In and User are now gone. Under the Edit menu, let's go back to the menus. We can also save this new set. Click Save As. We'll call it Total Training. Click OK to save the set. As you create new sets for different activities, you may want to save them so that you'll have quick access to them as you use them. Click OK to commit the change.